This is Circuit Breaker, brought to you by the entertainment site AwardsCircuit.com. An in-depth chat on film, television, and all the award shows that need predicting. Here's your host, Clayton Davis.
Hello, readers, and welcome to Circuit Breaker, brought to you by the entertainment website AwardsCircuit.com. I'm your editor-in-chief and owner, Clayton Davis, here today on March 15th, 2020. Time of recording is 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. There are about 9 hours remaining on Earth before the meteor strikes. Bruce Willis is on there right now. He is drilling. However, I think Ben Affleck died somewhere up there. So that's where we are. This is episode 179, though. We're going out on that. That's good. Nah, here we go. We're staying positive here. Here today with Karen.
I'm positive that this is going to suck for a long time.
Joey.
One, I don't think that's how that movie went. And two, I picked a hell of a week to have a birthday, didn't I?
And here, he's going to bring it home with positivity. Chris James.
And I don't want to miss a thing.
Yes, there you go.
Thanks for reminding me that Diane Warren still doesn't have an Oscar, Chris.
I know, right?
I know.
Negativity. Chris, can you make me a promise?
Yes.
We'll call this my deathbed promise, okay? So I'm like laying here, I'm talking to you, right? The terms of endearment, I'm Deborah Winger right now, right? This is what it goes. I need you to not watch Mamma Mia 2 at all this week. I can't have that be the last movie that is in your brain when it all goes to hell.
Oh, that's the movie I want in my brain when it all goes to hell. So no, I'm not going to make you that promise.
You're denying me. So
I am. I'm not making a promise I know I can't keep. Though if it were all to end today, the last thing I saw was All That Jazz. So I feel pretty happy about that.
Oh, the last thing I saw was The Other Guys.
Now who's making worse choices?
Well, the Other Guys makes me feel good because that's the movie that Jessica and I went to go see when we were on our honeymoon.
Oh, that's sweet.
Because it was really bad at the time.
Oh, no, I win with the worst choice because my last movie would be Contagion.
Yeah, I don't know why everyone's watching Contagion.
Yeah.
I don't know why everyone ran to that. Like, really?
I was curious.
Because it's now a documentary.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My
I love
last
that
movie
Jude Law is
was-
like crazy.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say my last movie was, what did I watch last night? Crap. It was the Adam Sandler one. With Drew Barrymore.
There's a lot of those.
I know.
Oh, 50 First Dates.
50 First Dates?
Yeah, 50 First Dates. That's the
Aw,
one.
yay.
I forgot it.
All right. So going with some Cinephile Showdowns from Ryan. Mark's top 10 from 2019 versus 2018. He says, if Mark isn't on this week, tell him he sucks. So, Mark, you suck. If he is on this week, tell him he sucks anyways. Good. That's always the way to go. In fact, please wait for him not to be there to do these. And your wish is our command. So, he kicks it off with number one, which is obviously a joke, but it's hilarious. 6 Underground or Transformers The Last Night. Neither of which were in his top 10, but it's
6 Underground.
I actually didn't see 6 Underground.
I didn't
so.
see either of those movies, so
It's
I can't.
I didn't
bad.
either.
It's bad, but Transformers is always worse.
Transformers, I think, may have been the best review I've ever written. I'm not even lying. I think that is like my masterpiece. It is my War and Peace of film criticism.
It's the King Lear you wrote in the quarantine.
Yeah.
Robot War, Human Peace.
Yeah. All right. His real number ones, 1917 or First Man. God, 1917 by like eons.
Yeah.
First Man.
1917.
1917 for sure.
Yeah. 3 of us are smart. Sorry, Joe. Knives Out or Hereditary? Knives Out. Wait, yes, Knives Out.
Knives Out.
Knives Out by 5,000 miles.
Yeah, Knives Out.
Oh, not by 5,000 miles, but there's.
Oh,
there's
you're right. It's probably more like 10,000.
There's distance.
Yeah, like 7,500.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood or Three Identical Strangers? Three Identical Strangers.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Love that.
3 Identical Strangers, and I'm starting to like Mark's taste more and more.
I love both, but I'll go Once Upon a Time so it doesn't feel alone.
Parasite or If Beale Street Could Talk. Oh,
Clayton.
Sophie's choice here. Parasite, I think.
Parasite.
Yeah,
Maybe not.
Parasite.
Maybe Beale Street. Actually, I don't know.
Parasite. This game is making Mark look very good.
I know, right? Actually, no. I'm gonna say Beale Street. I'm going Beale Street. I think I need that. Uncut Gems or Star is Born.
Star is Born.
That's really hard, actually.
It's not hard for me. It's Uncut Gems.
It's really hard for me, and I think I'm gonna go with the Uncut Gems.
I think I go Uncut Gems too. Okay, for the last third, because Star is Born does start to unravel a bit. Uncut Gems
like 5
is
minutes
like
in.
it's more. No, I was Star is Born. I think everything after Shallow is where like it really starts to like the threads come loose. Uncut Gems
like
builds.
5 minutes in.
It's long. Yeah, I know. The Irishman or Black Klansman?
Oh.
Close.
Okay, this one's hard.
Close, but I say Black Klansman.
I think I'm going Black Klansman too.
It's so close.
Oh, man. I think I'm going to go with The Irishman.
I'll join Karen, but it's like a 50-50. It's a real close one.
Peanut Butter Falcon or Green Book?
Oh my God, Peanut Butter Falcon by the biggest margin
Yeah, definitely.
possible.
Yeah, Peanut Butter Falcon. Mark.
I think I'm gonna. They're close actually, because I'm one of those that don't think Green Book's an abomination to life.
I didn't think it was either, but one's amazing and one's fine.
They're both. Actually, I just think they're both pretty good.
You're a monster.
Yeah, I think I'm going Green Book.
Gross.
But ask me again another day. Jojo Rabbit or Roma? Roma.
Jojo.
Jojo Rabbit, which I went and saw again yesterday.
Now you're sick.
Roma. And there was no one in that theater, Karen. It looked
Nope.
like, so I think you are safe.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm very safe.
Marriage Story or Cold War? Marriage Story.
Marriage Story.
Marriage Story.
This is like, which one do I dislike less? Like, I don't know. I guess I'm gonna go with Cold War just because of the cinematography.
Actually, let me ask you guys a secret question. Joanna Kulig or Scarlett Johansson?
Ooh, that's
As
closer.
actresses or people?
Performances in the movie.
ScarJo.
ScarJo.
Yeah.
Well, okay. It might be ScarJo, but they seem like very similar. That's what I thought I'd ask. Last, Waves or Widows?
Waves.
Ooh.
Widows.
It's Waves, but that do not let that misinterpret that I'm shitting on Widows, because Widows is bomb shit. It's great.
That one's hard. I like them both a lot. I think Widows is gonna be my pick.
Okay, secret second question. Cinematography of Waves or cinematography of Widows?
Still
Waves.
Waves.
Still.
Ooh,
Waves.
see, that way I think I'm going Widows.
Both good, but still Waves.
That tracking car shot is like one of the greats
It
of
is.
that year.
That's true.
Okay, so thanks, Ryan. Keep those coming. Chris, I think you're next, probably next week.
Whatever. That's going to be an interesting one.
Have fun, everyone.
Have we done Joey's yet?
What? No, we did one.
Yeah, we
like
did
2 weeks.
2 weeks ago.
Oh.
I don't think you were there for that one.
That's why.
That is why. Let's see. We're moving to the next phase of looking at what is. Well, I think it's important to discuss the elephant in the room. So let's talk about that real quick, about the world shutting down.
Yeah.
So with everyone, with the coronavirus pandemic that has been going on, a lot has been happening in all our respective areas and states. And we know a lot of our readers are very much, going through similar things, depending on where they're from, because we have American readers, we have international readers. So our thoughts are with everyone, and this very nerve-wracking time. Not good for people who have anxiety. So some people are struggling, and then some people are just, some people are not taking it serious enough and thinking that, because they hear old people are the ones who die, they can go out and still run amok and not think about the safety of others. However, we kind of venture forward. So with that, we are doing a few things in terms of operations of AwardsCircuit. We are still trekking on as usual because we're not in an office together, so that's fine. So like that part will be similar to that. I was actually thinking about doing a couple more podcasts throughout the week, just because people are going to be home and would like, probably gonna need some entertainment. Yeah. So we're not gonna be able to bring you, the next Star Wars, 3 years early, a la Disney Plus or anything like that. But we can bring you some regular content just throughout the week, and we got a few cool shows that we can plan out. In the event of something kind of bigger kind of going on that would, knock on wood, nothing terrible, but if something bigger did happen, we would try to bring as much information via the site. Not that you guys would come to us to look for coronavirus, like related news, but, in terms of just anything that's going on. One thing I just want to kind of point out just to people, because some people might have caught it through some of my social media channels and have reached out about it. So my dad is currently in quarantine in Pennsylvania. He went on a cruise in February and he wasn't feeling well. And about a week or so ago, he went to the doctor. And they just said they didn't do any coronavirus tests. They were just doing just regular tests on him. And they said, "Oh, you're fine." They sent him home. He said he was having body aches. And then on Thursday, his doctor called him and said, "You have to go to the hospital right now." So he's in quarantine. He got a coronavirus test on Thursday. It takes 4 days to get the results. He's supposed to get it today. So that's kind of like the crazy, bananas things that's going on. He's been sitting there for 4 days. And then for also people who know me beyond that I don't have a really great relationship with my dad. The reason I found this out because him and Joey actually share the same birthday. So I called him on his birthday, and then he was in the hospital in quarantine, and then we talked and stuff like that. So it's kind of affecting the world in different ways. We're very hopeful. I think everything's going to work itself out in the end, but it's just something that we should be aware of and something that should be explained out there. Other than that, I also don't want to belabor our podcast with, dour, sad stuff, because we have to be a little beacon of hope. We have to be Chris James and Mamma Mia too. So that's what we're channeling for the rest of this week. When in doubt, we're Chris James.
When in doubt, if you want to have your own Mamma Mia 2 Here We Go Again situation, just think of a flashback in your head. Then you have a dual storyline structure that's guaranteed to succeed.
If you were going to break out into song in real life, what song do you think you would break out to?
Oh, gosh. I feel like I listened to the Chicago soundtrack too much on repeat for it not to be one of those.
I would want
that makes sense.
I would want Rent. But the good Rent, Broadway show Rent, not like movie Rent. But I'd be down to break out into some Rent music.
You know what? That's really good right now. Everyone can sing "Go Out Tonight," but do that inside.
Yeah,
and you can feel like you're going out.
Yep. All right. Before we actually get into Oscar stuff and Emmy stuff and all that good stuff, we got a contest alert. Got something to promote.
Woo-hoo.
So this is fun because I like this. So I have a copy of, the studio does, so they will send it to you. So don't worry about me touching your Blu-ray. Well, we have Blu-ray copy of 1917 to give out because it's hitting Blu-ray shelves on March 24th to close stores. So you would really enjoy this, but we got some cool little nuggets to go with it about how you can win your copy of 1917 on Blu-ray by Universal Studios. The way you get entered is submitting a question for podcast. So from now until next Sunday. So Ryan, you already got an entry in there. Every question counts as an entry into the contest, into the bucket.
Even if we don't read their question, right?
Yeah, even if we don't read your question, your name goes in the bucket. So that's good. All right. So you don't have to hear it in order to do it. Number 2, the way to get your name in the bucket more is by making a visit over to the Circuit store that you can venture off right from the homepage, and there'll be a link in this episode. When you go to the Circuit store, this is a lot cool little apparel that we have now with the new Circuit circuitry star with all the nodes in it. That's just amazing. We have a lot of new products in there. If you purchase something from the Circuit store, every dollar you spend puts your name into the bucket that amount of times. Ooh. So that would go into the bucket. But also to, again, celebrate 1917, there's a coupon in there that we are running at the moment to give you 19.17% off your order.
How did you come up with that percentage?
Oh my God, it was so great. I loved putting it in. So 19.17% off your order, any order you make this week until next Sunday, and then the amount of dollars spent go in, the amount of times your name goes into the bucket. And then we will choose the winner next week.
Awesome.
So get some 1917. Actually, I have a bunch of other movies too. So I'm probably going to throw in some other stuff in there. So just know that if you're not chosen for 1917, if any of you have paid attention to social media and you know that my office has been nearly completed, there's a lot of random nooks and things around the room that could be given away quite easily. Like I'm looking right now at this big book copy of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's like a 4K HD, but it comes with like a screenplay, I think, attached in it. And I'm looking to unravel that. So some things like that can also, come into play. So buy something. It'll be fun. So that's all at AwardsCircuit.com. Go to the top menu for store. And then lastly, there's a home media store now where you can, if you don't win and you still want to buy the stuff, we have listed there each Oscar nominee and winner. We're going to put all Oscar nominees from history for Best Picture because everyone knows that I'm obsessed with my Oscar wall collection and trying to collect all the Best Picture nominees. And if you want to be a little bit crazy like me and put them in some random order, then now you can find the direct links to purchase them. So do that too. All right. Now, Chris, I need positivity. What's something positive that you can think of right now that would make me more happy than I am?
So, obviously not the best substitute for actually going out with your friends, but me and my friends have devised a Google Hangouts happy hour where we're all going to open a glass of wine in all the different cities that we're in, get on Google Hangouts, and hang out. So you can do that too if you're feeling lonely.
Well, we should do a Circuit Breaker hangout. I'm down for it.
We should.
Just do it. Yep, I'm down for it.
Chris, I love
All
that,
right.
and that's like the most you thing I could think of.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
And I do mean that as a compliment.
Yeah. I will say that Chris James a little bit reminds me of Macaulay Culkin in The Good Son, and I'm Elijah Wood.
What?
I feel like everyone thinks he's the best, and one day we're going to find out that he's been throwing like fake bodies over a bridge, causing these things, and he killed his siblings like secretly in a jealous rage before he pushes Karen off a cliff, and then Karen's going to climb up, and then me and him are going to be fighting, and then she's going to be holding on to the both of us, and she's going to have to make a decision between me and Chris.
I want whatever drugs Clayton has.
Yeah.
I think I know which decision Karen makes in that scenario.
Joey is the little sister friend that Chris throws onto the ice rink and that falls through the ice and almost drowns. Like, that is how we're going to find out that he is really evil. So, just letting everyone know. We can see right through him and all his antics.
Just glad to do my part.
Yeah. Do your part.
To show that he's evil by almost dying.
Yeah, thank you for... Yeah, he's got to deliver something here. Yeah. All right, let's go through some stuff that's maybe coming out this year. We're just going to guess. We're going to say... I mean, a lot of these will, but back end of Oscar season is going to be pretty packed.
Yep.
I wonder, as these movies shift backwards to the later half of the year, I wonder if some of the later movies are going to shift out of 2020 because there's too much.
Probably.
So it's going to be a lot of stuff.
Disney's slate is going to just
them
really upend.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm starting with Universal Pictures, and I'm talking about News of the World. Paul Greengrass's new film, slated for Christmas Day. Luke Davies is writing the screenplay. It's the adaptation of Paulette Giles' novel. A Texan traveling across the Wild West, bringing the news of the world to local townspeople, agrees to help rescue a young girl who was kidnapped. And this stars two-time Academy Award winner Tom Hanks.
This is perhaps maybe too mean of a thought, so please stop me if this is placing me towards my son territory. With multiple movies coming out and Tom Hanks currently being in Australia with the coronavirus, will this create a sympathy vote?
Listen, it is okay to talk a little bit about that. It's fine.
Doesn't Hanks is winning Best Actor this year, man.
Yeah,
he might.
Let's just say, the coronavirus has... I've never seen more people get on board with acknowledging its realness and seriousness than it was the moment that Tom Hanks tweeted that he had coronavirus. I had said, if he goes, I'm just walking outside naked. I'm just going to be like, here, coronavirus, just take me. I don't care. Because there's no reason why this should be happening to Tom Hanks. And which also then ventures off into an interesting thing that happened, a little slightly off topic, but about Tom Hanks. I was talking to Sam Coffey earlier this week, and we were chit-chatting. We're talking about I can't believe Tom Hanks got it, blah, blah. And this really led me to what happened was it led me to watching the Chet Hanks video of him.
That's what's winning the Oscar.
Yeah. So then I really started looking at Tom Hanks's family, right? I was like, who is this Chet Hanks? And why don't I know more about him? And then I realized I didn't, and listen, and I always say this, I put this out there a lot. I don't stay up to date with celebrity gossip and stuff like that. I found out that Barry Jenkins and Lulu Wang were dating way after everyone else did. So I didn't know that Tom Hanks was married before Rita Wilson.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had cheated on his first wife, Rita Wilson. And that Colin Hanks is not Rita Wilson's child.
No.
Yeah.
I did not know any of this.
So Tom Hanks' wife is the only person who knows what's bad about Tom Hanks. She has passed since then. She died 15 years ago. He murdered her.
And no, stop. That's terrible, Joey. So I did
AwardsCircuit disavows.
Yeah, AwardsCircuit disavows everything that Joey just said. So Tom Hanks, it was just about I was reading a little bit tidbits about their relationship, and they met when they were really young, and then they had 2 kids, and then he got with Rita Wilson, and then even when she got sick, Tom paid for all her medical bills because she died of cancer, and he was just so involved in that whole thing. And it was just it was weird. You just found this thing about your dad essentially this whole second life, and you're what the hell, man? Yeah, so it was just a lot of that. But in pertaining now to Chris's point, Tom Hanks is going to be in the thick of stuff this year. And I think we're just going to be like, check that off because we need him and we need to keep, but we don't want him Oscar campaigning. We want him, like, even after he's cured, I just need him to, like, sit home, just relax, sit with Rita, hold her, let her hold you. And that's it. No press. I won't interview unless it's on Skype, and then we can talk all day.
Also, too, anyone who's trying to look to pass the time in quarantine, Rita Wilson has put up her quarantine playlist on Spotify, so you can jam out with Rita.
Tell me that Rita Wilson isn't just amazing.
Wonderful. They're showing you that you can have fun while staying indoors and quarantining, so...
Well, if you were in quarantine hanging out with Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson, you would have fun too.
Yeah, that's why they gave him the Wilson volleyball.
I honestly feel like if I was in quarantine with Tom Hanks, like I would actively not speak to him for a little while, like a lot, because I'm like, I need him to like me for much longer than this period. Like I would really play the long game out. Like I would just be like, like I would let him ask me a couple questions. I might ask him like one or two here, but then I would just pull back immediately. I need him to be like, then when he asks me something like really deep, like, so tell me about your parents. And that's when like we'll have this big breakthrough. And then he'll be like, I'll adopt you, Clayton. And I go, oh my God. And then I got a family. And then,
but in reality, what would happen is Clayton would just sit there trying not to talk, and then Tom would be like, "What is up with this asshole? Why won't he talk to me?"
Yeah, I know. But then Chet Hanks would walk in, and I would just watch. Oh my! He's just it's so weird when you see people like what they produce, like in terms of like their offspring. Like it made me look at Noah, and I was like, how is Noah gonna be later? like if something happened to me, like does he go on Instagram and be like, yo, my dad, he broke his toe. Stupid, right? Like it just like make fun of me. Like it was crazy. All right, so that's news of the world. It's coming soon to a theater near us.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I know we did.
We talked anything about the actual movie.
Yeah, I know. I mean, news of the world is news of the world.
Clayton gave the plot summary. It's a Western. There's news. There's Tom Hanks. Greengrass.
And I know we did a little, and I know we did a little bit of Universal like a few weeks ago, so we're just kind of like recapping a little bit of these things. So BIOS still on the docket for October by one of the directors of Game of Thrones, Miguel Sapochnik. I think that's who say it, with Tom Hanks, Skeet Ulrich, Caleb Landry Jones, and Laura Harrier, and then Covers, which is produced by Tim Bevan and Eric Fellner, who you might know very well from Atonement and other productions. That's going to be with Dakota Johnson, Bill Pullman, and Ice Cube.
Cool.
That's later on the docket. Let's go to 20th Century Studios. Oh my God. It's been really annoying, by the way, to write that now. I don't like it one bit.
I don't either.
I don't like it.
Is it more or less annoying than Searchlight as opposed to Fox Searchlight?
Searchlight Studios doesn't bother me. Searchlight Pictures doesn't bother me as much. 20th Century Studios does, and it's really odd. It's like a very first world problem thing, but I just didn't like typing it out.
For me, 20th Century Studios feels like what's the one? Entertainment
One, or whatever it was.
Entertainment Studios, isn't it?
The one that did Chappaquiddick, right?
Yeah, and it just sounds so silly.
It doesn't sound. It kind of
made
sounds.
up.
Yes, it sounds like a fake studio. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
fake
like
news.
a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
Also, like they had the opportunity to change from 20th to 21st, and they were just like, nah, why mess with the classic?
Yeah.
Exactly.
First on their docket, see, this starts their plan. Their first big endeavor is going to be West Side Story.
Mm-hmm.
Steven
Which was
Spielberg's
in the 20th century, so that makes sense.
Yep.
And Karen, the official name was Entertainment Studios Motion Pictures, which sounds like a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
It does.
Spielberg's here with Ansel Elgort, newcomer Rachel Zegler, Corey Stoll, Rita Moreno, Ariana DeBose, Maddie Ziegler's in it. Adaptation of the 1957 musical West Side Story explores forbidden love and the rivalry between the Jets and the Sharks, two teenage street gangs of different ethnic backgrounds, played by actual Latinos.
What?
I can't believe this. We're going to see Latinos playing Latinos, singing in Latin ways. It's going to be crazy. Janusz Kaminski is doing cinematography. Michael Kahn's co-editing with Sarah Brochar. I feel like I have to ask Chris this first. Chris, you happy about this?
I'm very excited. It's not going to replace the original West Side Story in my heart, and I think I hope Spielberg has enough of a vision that he's not trying to make it a replacement and is merely trying to do something new or add to it. As you were talking about it, I was thinking it would be great if this could be sort of Stars Born-esque, where it's taking the basic framework of West Side Story, but it's a slightly new take, because that's the other thing. I love the new Stars Born. Nothing's replacing the Judy Garland version. And if we could kind of have a similar type thing for West Side Story, to me, the new Stars Born is kind of its best case scenario, both in terms of Oscars and fitting in with the lexicon of West Side Story.
Yeah. If anyone hasn't heard Rachel Zegler sing, go to her Twitter, and she has a pinned video of her singing A Star Is Born, singing Shallow, and she sings like an angel. She's got pipes, and I think she's gonna like smash vocally in the role. Ansel Elgort feels a little not like it was the right choice. I mean, on its face right now, I think he just, first of all, I feel like he's too old, and he feels just out of place for what it looks like he was going for. But I don't know. That's just on its face. Listen, I think Ansel Elgort's a very, very talented actor, and I think he's going to make some really. I think he's got an Oscar in his future at some point.
You say that as someone who didn't see Goldfinch last year.
I didn't see Goldfinch. But he is would you believe that? Do you think he's like, he has talent behind him? Because I feel like he's also like he's kind of looking like the low grade Army Hammer. So it was kind of like when like Mark Ruffalo, Sam Rockwell, and Giovanni Ribisi were just operating in that same space for like a long time. Oh, and then two people just like ran out forward, and Giovanni Ribisi just got left behind. Yeah, and
I think that there's this group of guys. I think Ansel Elgort's in there, Alden Ehrenreich, Taron Egerton. There's this group of guys that are kind of all doing that, where it's like the characters sometimes feel interchangeable, and then one of them starts to emerge, which right now I think is Taron Egerton because of Rocketman last year. But yeah, I agree with you. I think that he's in that group. I find him boring, not just as a person, but like all of his performances. I feel like they're
even Baby Driver.
Same, yeah. Baby Driver worked.
Baby Driver felt like the first time that he was trying a little like something different.
Oh, see, I felt like that was where they managed to capture something where his persona actually worked for the role that they gave him.
Because I think of him in like The Fault in Our Stars and stuff like that, and I'm just like I feel like he got really pigeonholed into like that teeny bopper, like, you know, love interest, like.
That's what they were trying to make him, yeah.
Well, that's what he was, yeah, because I mean they did with Divergent and stuff like that. But then I felt like he showed a little bit of a range, and I know people crap on the movie, but you know, Joey and I always appreciate a little bit of what happens in Men, Women, and Children, and I think he actually does some good stuff in there. I actually forgot that he was in it until I really started talking about it a few minutes ago.
Well, it has to do something. There's a little bit more range he needs in the movie.
Yeah,
not much, but a little.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll just see what happens with him. I mean, I like, listen, he's 26, so he's not even like, how old is Tony supposed to be? Do anyone remember? Are they like?
I don't think 26.
Well, I know not 26, but I don't know how old they're supposed to be in the movie. Come on, Chris.
I don't know either.
I mean, he has a youthful look, so it'll look okay.
Yeah.
Well, that part's not gonna stick out. He just seems like the weak link.
Yeah, and to kind of Karen's point, because I am Ansel Elgort agnostic, kind of just passes through me. But with The Fault in Our Stars, he is really going hard into the manic pixie dream boy type thing, and I feel like if that's what they're going to try and bring to Tony, it's really gonna fall flat.
That's my new description for Chris from now on. he's my manic pixie dream boy. That's what he is. All right. Then we wait. Let me. One more thing I need to talk about in the movie, and I know it's gonna be, and I know I'm predicting her, and I know she's just got almost impossible shoes to fill. I feel like anyone is just gonna like be ready to pounce if she does anything wrong in the role. But Ariana DeBose in the role of Anita that won Rita Moreno her Academy Award. I feel terrible for her just like being in that space because people are just going to be ready to pounce.
I wonder how that will be for people because Rita Moreno's also in the movie.
Yeah.
Like hypothetically, she could win an Oscar for the same movie twice.
Yeah,
sort of.
for two different roles. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw the first picture of her as Maria, and it feels different, like just on looks of it, because obviously, and listen, and I think I've been on record. I'm not a big fan of West Side Story, but I think Rita Moreno in it is pretty amazing. So it's just going to be interesting to see this new take on it. And it's just the role that of anyone in the movie of like, there's been so many complaints that, no Latinos were in the original and there are hardly any Latino, blah, blah, blah. But like, this is like for the Latin community, they're going to be like ready to jump on it and be like, don't you dare.
I just don't understand why this was the musical Steven Spielberg decided he needed to direct. And why he didn't put his effort and his experience into producing and supporting and promoting a Latin director. I don't get that.
Because he saw Cats, maybe, and he saw what that was going to turn into.
And it was also directed by a white guy, just saying.
Yeah. Well, just to talk about here, so like, and we've spoken about this a lot. And I remember in particular a podcast like years ago with Terrence Johnson talking about like musicals that like when they first announced this and how mad he was like, there are so many Broadway musicals that have not been made yet. Like, why are we remaking an Oscar winner? Like let's go into something else. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that, about what's on the docket and what still needs to be made and stuff like that. And then obviously you guys can chime in with anything. So Wicked is on the docket for next year. Stephen Daldry. We still have no casting there. And I think they just waited too damn long because Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth will never be replaced in my hearts, but we'll see what happens. We got Les Miserables already. We got Phantom of the Opera. See, I'd be down with them to redo Phantom of the Opera because the first one was just so bad. I think there's a version out there that, could be good, but wait a while.
Ditto that for Les Mis.
Yeah. Book of Mormon is supposed to be on its way, but I don't know if they've even got that, like a start date or release date for that.
I hope I never make it.
I actually wasn't I wasn't actually that fond of the show. I think it got blown up too much in my head. That's the thing that happened. Jersey Boys we already got and moved on from very fast.
Right, rightly so.
Hamilton, we're getting the stage version, which is not going to be the movie version, which I starting to think, I don't think we ever should get a movie version of Hamilton. I think that exists too much in its stage space to warrant something that would be outside of that.
But it's Hollywood, and they're gonna turn it into.
I mean, they will. I mean, yeah. Let me be clear. What I'm saying here is not what I think they're going to do. It's just my own personal opinion. I think they should stay away from it because I don't know if any of you have ever seen Hamilton on stage, but it really, there's like not really, there's no real sets, like the stage spins. So it's really just more about like the lyrics of the words and the raps that are happening and the music. So to really bring in big production stuff may just diminish everything that the musical stands for. I said this for decades. By decades, I mean just like 10 years. Miss Saigon.
Yeah. They'd have to make some changes,
you said that for a
but
while.
yeah.
Lee Daniels, you have the rights. Make the goddamn movie. It's right there. You said they have to make changes, you think?
Yeah, they'd have to make some story changes. It's a little problematic in our current era, but they could easily do that.
Yeah.
Would you want them to try Rent again? Or is that something that also just exists too much on the stage?
I feel like Rent is a very theatrical experience. Yeah, I think that that's something that if people have the opportunity, especially in a small theater with a small group, I think it's a very cool experience to do.
Yeah, I mean, even in a big theater, a big group. I mean, but Rent, like the thing with I hate so much about the original, not the original, the movie. Sorry, the original movie, whatever it is, we're gonna call it. You can't hide that it's a musical because it is a musical that's like sang front to back. Like, you know, you can't speak words and then like leave out a song like Contact, which is like a really powerful number that, you know, has Angel's exit and then remove it from the movie and just have him die and then be like, oh, spoiler alert, have him die and then just be like, you know, you can't hide those things. You have to just embrace them. What else? What else is, there's been talk around a Billy Elliot musical happening.
That would be okay.
Are you guys down? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
I feel like there's enough time, like, between the movie and this. It could be good to have, like, a new life for the story.
Yeah. How would you feel if, Chris, I want you to like hold something because I don't know if it's gonna like one of those things that just like knocks you off your feet. How would you feel about another Cabaret? And when I ask that, I want you to think about this story I've told before. I interviewed Emily Blunt years and years ago. It was during Into the Woods. And I asked her, what is the dream role you would want? And she says, I want to be a Sally Bowles.
Well, I'm holding on to things. I think Emily Blunt could, do very well as Sally Bowles, and that's why it's been the role that every A-list actress tries their hand at on Broadway, and I think Miss Blunt should do that as well. But I don't
on Broadway.
I guess I just don't. There are certain things that I kind of feel like are etched in stone, and Cabaret is a bit. And I feel like if you're going to do it again, you really have to have a clear new take on it. Like if you're going to just try and do the same thing and be better than Liza Minnelli and Joel Grey, I admire your hubris, but
question your logic.
Yes.
Yeah. Got it. Understood. I'm down for some Aida.
Yes.
Aida needs to come. Dear Evan Hansen, are we ready for something like this? Like, is that too in the stage also?
I didn't really enjoy that show, so I don't have an opinion on making it a movie. I know. I was really excited about it, but when I saw it, I was just like, something's missing here.
I think if they're talking about Book of Mormon, I would totally take an Avenue Q like movie.
That I feel like could be kind of fun.
That could be super fun. Oh my god, a raunchy musical? Like, yes.
Yeah.
I would much rather them do Avenue Q than the Book of Mormon.
Yeah.
I think I agree.
Not quite as inappropriate, but they saw such strong results with Sexy Oklahoma. I wonder what like a Sexy Oklahoma movie would look like.
Ooh, be interesting.
I think it should be called Sexy Oklahoma.
Should.
Yeah, and finally, I'd be down with a retake on Sweeney Todd with people that actually have the vocal range to sing those songs.
For the record, I like the Tim Burton one, but I would also like to see another version of it too. Yes.
Every so often, Karen says something, and I'm like, wait, what?
I know, like she
not
is
fit with
just
what I
she
know
is
about you.
so unpredictable these days. She's just throwing me back.
I'm going to agree with Karen a bit. I don't think
Thank
the
you.
original Sweeney Todd
no,
is
I
a bad
don't-
movie, but
I don't think it's
I don't
awful.
hate it.
It's a great I think it's a great direction of what he was what he was going for. Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter were not the role. Were not the actors.
I loved
I
her.
don't-
I thought she was great.
I think it's okay, but if you asked us which of the four of us would hate it, I would have put lots of money on Karen.
Yeah.
well, also, this might be a really controversial statement, but I think Sweeney Todd is your argument for why we should still do dubbing.
Oh.
Because I think Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter like understand the roles. They just aren't
vocally there.
Yeah. They are not
Okay.
vocally there, and I think it undermines interesting things with the performance that they're doing.
They
And
do
so-
something. They do something my grandfather used to say. Like when an actor on Broadway or in a musical like didn't know how to sing, they would act the song,
Yes.
and they act the song.
So what Chris just did was justify Rebecca Ferguson's inclusion in The Greatest Showman, is what he just did.
Never mind, I didn't take it all back.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't take responsibility for any part of the greatest showman.
Okay.
Dubbing, non-dubbing, Rebecca Ferguson was a problem, not one of the problems.
I love
Okay.
that
What a
movie
many.
too.
Yeah, I know you
Sorry,
do,
Karen, I can't go there.
Chris, you stand for Mamma Mia too, but not The Greatest Showman.
Absolutely. That seems clear in my mind.
So, do you stand for Evita?
I do stand for Evita, but I haven't seen it in the longest time, so I can't. I'm on shaky ground.
Well, you certainly have the time now.
I certainly do.
Yeah, do you have 3 hours and go watch Evita? And
Wait, Clayton? What's the movie we yell at you for? What's one of the movies we yell at you for not having seen?
Casablanca?
Oh, so this week, by the time we record next week, you'll have seen it.
No, it's my thing now.
He's like,
He's gonna not watch it just to not watch
43
it.
minutes of bliss.
Yeah,
It's so good.
I know. I'm sure it's fantastic. I don't have anything against it. It's never fallen into like my lap to like I'm gonna watch Casablanca now. Like it just didn't. But now it's been such a thing.
Don't you own it?
Of course I own it.
it literally could fall into your lap if someone
Yeah.
shook your
Yes.
or your shelves.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like have a
Hey,
family movie
Sophia,
night.
go get Dad's
Yeah,
copy of Casablanca.
Yeah.
If only your wife did the podcast would be like, Jessica, just put it into his lap. Literally
Yeah.
do the thing.
Yeah. Also, just last thing, we have to get off this musical thing. I'm down for a 42nd Street, and I always used to say that Catherine Zeta-Jones seemed perfect for 42nd Street 15 years ago. Not anymore. But this is why, like, I think sometimes, like, we've waited too long to do, like, a show.
Sit down. You really sound like a Hollywood executive. She's
Well,
perfect 15 years ago.
Yeah, right. No, like, but I was in Pippin in college, right? And I loved Pippin, and I was like, and they were really talking about making Pippin for the longest time, and I was like, y'all need to hurry up because Ewan McGregor is just getting older and older and older, and now look, he can't even do Pippin anymore. So now I don't even know who would be Pippin, and I wouldn't want anyone else.
All of this is reminding me, if anyone needs something to binge while you're in quarantine, Encore on Disney Plus is absolutely amazing, and everyone should binge it.
Think about your life, Pippin. All right, moving on. We're going to. Oh yeah, we're talking about 20th Century Studios, right? As they listen, they're like, "Yeah, talk about our movies some more."
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, not the movies that we're not making that you think we should.
Well, they should make them, and then we'll talk about them.
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk about this movie because I can't wait to see what this does. The Last Duel.
It's going to either be a huge player or a massive flop. There's no in between.
You know what I'm predicting.
I know what you're predicting.
Literally the only thing that gives me hope that this is going to be good is because Adam Driver's in it. And I was like, he wouldn't choose something bad, right? Like so quick off of his like massive success that's been happening.
Rise of Skywalker.
I mean, that's
Well, he was contractually obligated.
Yeah,
to do
exactly.
that.
Yeah, and that's a franchise.
He also kind of looked like he knew, like, oh god.
And he wasn't bad. And listen,
No,
Rise of
he
Skywalker
wasn't
is not
bad.
terrible. It's just super lazy.
Yeah,
And at that
what?
point, at that point, you couldn't put the genie back in the bottle. Like, you know, he did great in the first two, and the last one he had to finish it out.
Yeah, we could
Also,
also
not a
have
20th
scenario-
Century Studios movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we could also have a scenario where Driver, Damon, Affleck, Jodie Comer, like they're all really great in the movie, but it's just ridiculous or it doesn't work. So there's still that. Also.
Synopsis for the readers who don't know: King Charles VI declares that knight Jean de Courage, am I saying that right? Nope, probably not. Settle his dispute with his squire by challenging him to a duel.
You know what gives me a little bit of hope for this? Because I was like reading through who's in it, what it's about, who's directing, and I was just like,
say her name. Go ahead, say it. Say the name that gives you hope.
Nicole Holofcener.
Thank you. Yep.
Yes, I'm here to see how she reigns in these bunches of boys to make something watchable.
I have a question. Is she reining them in, or did she undo some good shit that probably she had? Like, who came in first?
That's a good question. I think she might have come first.
And that's when shit gets ugly.
But I don't know.
Because who was oh my god, what's that movie?
Give us information.
It's like 2 years ago.
Can you ever forgive me?
No, woman wrote it first, man came in next, ruined everything. You can clearly see in the movie what was written by a woman was written by a man. I can see it in my head.
What happens? Who's in it? Give us something. We're good at this.
That's like
You've described like 15 movies.
I described the whole millennium. I'll get to it later. Whatever.
I don't actually know who came first, but it feels like she might have written the script for somebody else, and then Affleck and Damon saw it as a project and gave it a rewrite.
Yeah.
Though they also could have written it.
Happened, yeah.
That makes more sense, but there is a world where maybe they wrote it. I just don't believe they would have written it first. It didn't get traction, then they gave it to someone else, then it did.
Especially if they're going to be in it.
Yeah, like if they, no matter what they came with we wrote it and we'll both be in it, someone's going to say like, well, sure, we'll figure it out later. You know, they wouldn't probably call in another writer.
And listen, Ben Affleck is a writer, like call spades, not always on.
I think his batting average is pretty high.
I guess I'm interested too. If it wasn't like, if she wasn't here just to punch it up, then how did she navigate credit alongside Matt Damon and Ben Affleck? So that's why I'm wondering. I hope there's a good douse of her energy in this, because I don't know, you know, you just like read the synopsis to certain movies and you're just like, this would have been something that we would have had to go see like 2 decades ago in the 90s. Like this.
Well, I also
exactly
think it's funny how they. Sorry.
Oh no, I'm done.
Well, I also think it's funny how they basically don't really tell you what it's about.
That's true. Also,
it's about a duel.
No.
Sure.
No.
We'll go with that.
It's
stuff. And is Ben playing the king?
I don't know. It was supposed to be the two of them, and then
the knight is Matt Damon.
Yeah, I think the squire would. I don't remember how it was supposed to be, but he took a smaller role, and Adam Driver took whatever role he was playing, I believe.
He's playing Jacques Legris. I think he's the squire.
Yeah,
I think Adam Driver's the squire. I think Matt Damon's the guy who challenges him to the duel. So I don't know who the king is.
I think Ben might be the king. Yeah.
Oh, great.
Jesus.
Listen,
I mean, we don't.
The only thing that gives me hope that Ben Affleck in a period piece may be not so cringeworthy. I think about him in Shakespeare in Love, and I go, "Yep, that worked. That worked."
And I mean, it comes back to Ridley Scott. Like, he's such a wild card that you
see. I don't think Ridley Scott's really the wild card here, because I think
always the wild card.
Well, because he has proven in period pieces to direct things very well, as we see.
Yeah, no, I'm not worried about
He can handle that stuff. Like, writing wise, like I look at like Matt Damon. This was only the second time Matt Damon and Ben Affleck have written something together, right?
Yeah. And I think it's only Damon's, and Damon's like third overall, and Affleck's like sixth overall.
And Ben is great with stuff he knows from his neighborhood. So Gone Baby Gone in the Town worked well. The first time he went back period wise, and he went back like a couple decades, was Live by Night, and then we saw what happened. So now we're going back. No, it was bad. So then we go to Last Duel. Now this is going to be something like different.
I just mean like Ridley Scott has a very strange eye for things. Like I'm sure the like directing will be fine, but he looks at material that's bad sometimes. It's like, yeah, that's what I want to spend my life on. He just picks very bizarre choices. So I don't know if he saw like The Martian in this, or if he saw Exodus: Gods and Kings in it, or whatever the hell it was called. There's a big gap between like the things he makes.
Yeah. All right. Then we move to another musical. Everybody's talking about Jamie, which I am not familiar with the show.
No.
I have not been talking about Jamie.
No.
Yeah, I'm less familiar with this too. It seems like it's gonna be a pretty big musical year.
We're gonna get our category activated. It's gonna happen. Yes. Well, actually, no. This wouldn't count towards that, Karen, because this isn't an original musical.
Oh. Well,
yeah.
Neither is West Side Story, technically.
Yeah, unless they write 5. So I think they have to have 5 original songs in it. So everybody talking about Jamie. I mean, I don't know if they're going to write 5 original songs, but West Side Story, I know they're definitely not writing 5 original songs because they wouldn't dare. So let people know, feature film adaptation of the musical about a teenager from Sheffield, England, who wants to be a drag queen. Max Harwood is in it, along with Lauren Patel. Lauren Patel is supposed to be someone to watch in the film based on the role, like when it was doing its stage rounds in London. Richard E. Grant is in it, so.
Yay.
And he doesn't do anything wrong in his life. And he's playing he's also playing a drag queen, which I think is going to be magnificent.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be amazing.
Cannot wait.
Hugo Battersby / Loco Chanel. Like, can you see it already? It's going to be spectacular.
Give it to me now.
Yeah. All right. And then from the window to the woman. The woman in the window.
We're gonna look back at this one and wonder why we talked about it so much.
The woman in the window is what's gonna bring us all out of quarantine. We're all gonna go and watch Amy Adams be an agoraphobe, and it's going to be quite a time.
Yeah.
To be clear, I do not think this will get any Oscars, but I'm so excited to watch.
It is Chris's number 3 film of the year. We are ready for this.
It reminds me of Copycat with Sigourney Weaver and Holly Hunter, I think.
I kind of like Copycat.
Oh, I did too, but it's it's one of those where it's like it's fun to watch, but it's not going to do anything awards-wise.
It definitely feels like a throwback to like a 90s thriller, because similar to you, I had a big vision of Jennifer 8 when I saw the trailer and stuff, and I love Jennifer 8. Jennifer 8's cool, but this isn't going to be Jennifer 8. This is going to be terrible.
Well, even poor Tracy Letts has alluded to the script that he wrote is very much not the script that was shot with.
I was saying that a couple weeks ago. He gave this weird like interview where he's like, we had to kind of make the movie like dumber, and that's not really how you sell it.
No.
I'm excited for Dumber. I cannot wait. It's going to be Looney Tunes goofy.
Yeah.
And we might as well mention this because he'll maybe be a Golden Globe nominee. Ryan Reynolds in Free Guy, because Free Guy looks fun.
Yeah,
that looks really fun.
Yeah.
I think it kind of looks like this year's like Hancock or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I feel like we're gonna watch it and be like, it didn't reach its potential that we, like imagined, but all things being equal, it's fun. And who knows, maybe that's just what we need.
Because it's coming out in June, right?
July 4th weekend, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it's going to be the world is still trying to get back into normality, and it'll be a good one to look forward to.
Yeah.
All right. And then lastly, I'm going to end with a couple films that have no U.S. distribution yet, but it's worth talking about because maybe somebody will pick it up. And the most prominent film right now that has no distribution yet, but is still looking to come this year, is Andrew Dominik's Blonde.
Yes.
Anna de Armas as Marilyn Monroe. A fictionalized chronicle of the inner life of Marilyn Monroe.
I have it doing pretty well, my predictions, but again, it's kind of iffy that nobody picked it up when it was done.
Well, it was supposed
I
to go
think
to
at this point.
Yeah, it was supposed to go to South by, and now it's not. So it could still get picked up by someone.
I think
It
it will, but
probably
I think
will.
with all the cancellations and moving schedules around, I think it'll get picked up and then released next year.
Yeah.
Could be.
Mhm.
Goes to like Cannes next year or something like that.
Yeah,
Or
got
Sundance.
Dee Dee Gardner, Jeremy Kleiner, Brad Pitt producing again. Like it sounds like it could be great. It just, trying to figure it out. So there's that. Next one is 4 Good Days with Mila Kunis and Glenn Close. A mother helps her daughter work through 4 crucial days of recovery from substance abuse. Directed
Yeah,
by
went to-
Diego Garcia.
They went to Sundance and kind of got like a shrug, right, Karen?
Yeah, I didn't see it, but I didn't hear anybody talking about it either.
Well, Mila Kunis and Glenn Close got the praise, but then that was kind of it. So I think
No, I mean, like, on the ground, nobody was talking about, like, oh, I gotta go see this. You gotta, I saw this. It was great. Nobody I know was talking about it at all.
And also, like, Glenn Close has Hillbilly LG this year. Like, I think it could just further help her for that movie if she's good in this.
Next up is Terrence Malick's The Last Planet, retelling of several episodes in the life of the Christ.
Oh, goody.
Geza Rohrig is playing Jesus from Son of Saul, so I'm down with that. Matthias Schoenaerts is playing Peter.
I'm really.
Wait. Yeah, say it, Karen. Go ahead. Get there.
No. It's Terrence Malick, right?
It's good. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. See, I'm really curious to see if A Hidden Life was an anomaly for me, or if it was like, okay, he's back to making films that I really enjoy. Because I like his early stuff. I have not liked anything he did in years until A Hidden Life came out.
I think this is his speed. I think this is what he should be doing now, because this actually sounds like this, because when he's just doing like this meditation of life, it does, like he did it once with Tree of Life, but you can't continuously just keep doing meditations of life, because then you get, to the wonder and song of those things. But when you get an actual, but you give him a plot and a story and something that's like, I think A Hidden Life spoke to him. Like, the story spoke to him. And granted, I think, like, and you're bigger on it than I am, because I think he tried to merge his meditation of life with the plot, because that first hour of A Hidden Life, I think, is like nonsense. But then once he concentrates on story, then it like lives in this beautiful, magical arena. So I wonder if he's going to stay there.
Yeah, and see, I felt like it was a really good blending of those two elements, and I felt that way with A New World too, where it's like when he's telling a very specific story, but he's using these themes of faith and of just being part of a bigger system, and like all these different things that he likes to show. I think A Hidden Life really blended those together very beautifully, and that's why I loved it so much.
And I think at bare minimum, you have to be excited for this movie because Mark Rylance is playing Satan.
Oh, that'll be amazing.
And
how could that not be amazing?
I acknowledge that is just going to be pretty spectacular for him to just emerge and stuff. So we'll see.
I've seen him misuse actors so often over the past decade that I really had to hedge my bets.
Yeah. Another no distribution, Mob Girl, Jennifer Lawrence, directed by Paolo Sorrentino, who did The Great Beauty.
The Great Beauty and Youth.
Yeah.
And I think the Young Pope or whatever on TV, right?
Yep. He's the movie's still just listed. I don't know if they started filming. I don't know anything for that. Jennifer Lawrence is a producer on it also, so it's something that evidently she was a little passionate about. It's about a mother living in New York's Lower East Side becomes a mafia informant for the FBI. Dun, dun, dun.
Cool. Interesting combination of actress and filmmaker.
Yeah, it sounds like it's just going to be Red Sparrow Part 2.
Seems different than Red Sparrow, but I mean, it could end up just being like a genre fair, yeah.
Well, yeah, because Red Sparrow's bad, but like, yeah. And then I'm really looking forward to Rebecca Hall's directorial debut. Those that come out last year, but I think it's looking for distribution this year. It's called Passing. Passing follows the unexpected reunion of two high school friends whose renewed acquaintance ignites a mutual obsession that threatens both of their carefully constructed realities. Rebecca Hall also adapted it. Its cinematographer is Edward Grau, who did A Single Man and Suffragette and Buried. Tessa Thompson's in it. Alexander Skarsgård, Ruth Negga, Andre Holland. It sounds cool as hell.
Was this one supposed to be at South by? Because I swear I had this on my list for South by.
I don't know. I know that it was running the mill like last year because I had it on Oscar predictions last year.
I wrote the AwardsCircuit.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we thought it was coming, and then it didn't, and then so Forrest Whitaker is also a producer on this as well. Good old Forrest Whitaker coming in here supporting female filmmakers. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so there's that. All right, now we move on to Emmys, because you can watch TV now because you're going to be home for a long time. Joey, now you can really.
I was about to say,
if I had no excuse to not watch Casablanca, you can watch a lot of TV and pick up.
I mean,
we should pick something for each other to watch.
Ooh, that's fun.
Could do that.
It could be from one of the limited series. So let's talk about that category and see if any of them are up Joey's alley. So we're still going to get allegedly 7 nominees, right? That's where the rules are still have us. Watchmen at the top. Hollywood.
I haven't seen it, so I can just watch it again.
Sure.
All right.
But no, you shouldn't watch it again. You should watch something you haven't seen. Hollywood.
But you should also watch it again.
Yeah. Hollywood, Ryan Murphy at Netflix.
When does that come out?
July, I think.
No, I think
not July. I mean, I was like, that
got to be
sense.
out before May 31st.
It's on the poster, and I just couldn't see. Oh, May 1st.
Okay.
Yep. So that's like going to be the big thing. Unbelievable, also Netflix. Which got stellar reviews. It's to be in the hunt. Mrs. America, FX original. Also
Kate Blanchett run, right?
Yeah, and Elizabeth Banks and Uzo Aduba and Rose Byrne.
Yeah.
Lotta's voice will probably be in the running, despite what we all thought of it. Like, it is I can't believe it still gets stuff. I can't believe Russell Crowe won something for that. First of all, I only can give stuff the first episode, and usually I can abandon ship, or I could be like, this wasn't good, but I can give it maybe another episode or two, and I could not give it another episode or two. I thought it was really bad.
I mean, good choice on you, Clayton. I reviewed it, so I had to watch all that they gave me, and it does not pick up. It doesn't get better, and it weirdly also its tone is such that it's almost trying to cover everything impartially a bit, but kind of not reveres Roger Ailes, but doesn't have enough of a commentary on him to really make it a takedown.
Well, that sounds fun.
Yeah, delightful, right? Jesus.
I actually don't think it will end up making the 7. I think Russell Crowe will get in, and that's about it. But I think as we saw kind of last year with When They See Us, Breaking In, and Chernobyl, these late breaking limited series, I think there's a lot of contenders that can kind of push something like Lauda's Voice, which everybody kind of remembers, but nobody really loved.
Yeah. All right, and then we look forward
to
The
Outsider.
Well, I'm getting there.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, because
I thought you were moving on to a different category.
Oh no, I'm staying in the category because April 19th is coming, and April 19th is Fargo.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So that's Noah Hawley directing. Again, Timothy Oliphant, Jesse Buckley, Ben Whishaw, Jack Houston, Chris Rock, Jason Schwartzman, Uza Aduba, Glenn Turman. I'm so looking forward to the season.
I cannot wait.
This season's gonna. I think that because I like the first season, and then the second and thirds are like I couldn't get through them fully. Like I just wasn't like really in it. I was also pretty distracted. But this is like the first time I'm like, I want to watch this whole season. Like I'm ready for it.
I really liked season 2 and 3, but I felt like both of them ended very strangely and not satisfying like the first one.
Yeah.
I always forget which season, or I mix different plot lines up with each one.
Ewan McGregor is 2, and then
3.
3. Oh, so who's 2? 2 is
Patrick Wilson was season 2.
Was season 2 with Kirsten Dunst and Jesse Plemons. Yes, that's the one I really liked. One, I really love Billy Bob Thornton and Martin Freeman, but I really kind of have a soft spot for Kirsten Dunst and Jesse Plemons in season 2.
Well, because
they're
the greatest couple ever. That's why.
They are, and I loved them. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, I really liked so much of the season, but I felt like the ending just kind of fell flat.
Yeah, I agree.
I got American Horror Story 1984.
How was that?
I need to watch that.
I haven't finished it. It was fine. Like American Horror Story has really fallen off the rails like last few years for me.
Yeah, I've gone in and out on that series. I always never like it, but I always like sometimes want to see the new concept.
It is the limited series version of The Walking Dead, the most inconsistent show that it just makes you frustrated to even want to watch it anymore.
Is there a particularly good season?
The second,
third. I think Asylum is really great.
Murder House is still the best one. So Murder House, Asylum, Coven is next. I think Freak Show is abomination of terribleness. Like it is.
I saw some of Freak Show and the first half of Election Year.
You should watch.
I think I picked the bad ones.
Roanoke is supposed to be really good. I didn't finish it.
Roanoke was so good, but the last episode pissed me off so bad
that it destroys everything about it.
Yeah. It ruined the entire season.
See, I stopped at Roanoke before like the big kind of game-changing twist happened. I never doubled back.
Yeah, that's smart. Don't ever do that. Don't ever go back and watch it.
No, I think I'm good.
So I'm looking right now.
But
I'm looking at the list for you, Joe. So Murder House, Asylum, Coven. Coven is really inconsistent, so I wouldn't even go into that. Freak Show's awful. Hotel, I mean Gaga's in it, but that's really can get you through. Roanoke's supposed to be great. Cult is terrible. Apocalypse I didn't finish. 1984. I like the first. I like the first episode, but I just haven't gone back into finish it.
Isn't American Horror Story in drama series now though? Didn't they move away from limited series?
No, they're still limited, I think.
I thought that they did from last year, but I
think the new rule though, if they move there, they have to move there forever.
That's what I thought. I thought that they moved there last year.
No, because I think last year they still competed in limited last year, right?
No, they competed in drama, but that was because, and maybe this is sort of the weird loophole because Emmys are nothing but weird loopholes. Yeah. But if you're any way tied to other seasons of a show, then you have to compete in drama series. And because Apocalypse loops all the way back to Murder House, and all of the people from Murder House are in it, it technically was considered a drama series. So if they clearly define that 1984 is its own thing, then I think it's okay.
It goes eliminated.
I don't know, but because I was like looking through, it's very hard to know what's a limited series versus a drama.
And they suck, man.
They really do. And so I was like going down Gold Derby, and I knew they had it listed as a limited series, and I was like, that's kind of funny.
But what you were talking about before, Karen, that I just realized when you talked about the Outsiders competing in drama series.
Why? It's only one season.
Don't ask me why. We just went over why the rules suck.
Are we sure that that's really happening?
I'm like 90% sure that it's competing in drama series.
Could that be a thing where like they're
or that's where
separating it from Watchmen?
Ooh.
I think.
That's actually a good question.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like some places do that and some places don't, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's weird. But The Outsider and Watchmen both are expected to just be one season.
Exactly.
Yeah, but we'll see. All right, then we got Little Fires Everywhere from Hulu. I know this much is true from HBO. That's the Mark Ruffalo thing. It's supposed to drop later this year.
That's Derek C. and Friends, right?
Yep.
Yes.
I might watch that.
Well, you can't. It's not out yet.
When it comes out.
Okay. I was like, it's not out.
I'm leaving myself a lot of wiggle room there.
Yeah, I see. We have The Undoing with the Queen herself, Nicole Kidman. That is that still supposed to be this year?
Yeah, I want to say it's late April. I need to check on that though.
Okay. I got The Plot Against America, which was HBO.
I will watch that.
That's a Joey type
That
show,
starts
yeah.
tomorrow, right?
I like alternate history to begin with. So
Yeah.
this has been on my radar. I almost bought the book like several times.
Yeah. Catherine the Great will probably be in the running here with Helen Mirren.
Mhm.
Got Luther coming back for some more love. The next season of Genius with the Aretha Franklin one, and that's going to be with Cynthia Erivo. Just being
Which
perfect.
I'm excited for, but I'm still bummed that they pulled the Mary Shelley season. I hope they still circle back and do that one.
They pulled it indefinitely?
Yeah.
I thought they just did a switcheroo. I didn't know that. Oh, that sucks.
No,
now I'm upset.
It's indefinitely pulled, but I'm still hoping that they'll come back and do it. I think she'd be perfect subject.
Speaking of like doing that, or like switching the subject of a season, whatever happened to the Katrina American Crime Story?
Oh, that was indefinite.
Yeah.
Because now they're doing Bill and Monica, right? That's the next one.
No,
Yep.
that's American Crime Story. Oh yes, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. 'Cause you said that thought American Horror Story. Yes, next one is Bill and Monica.
Because they did OJ, and then they were going to do Katrina, and then they switched it, and then they switched it again, and now I guess they're just like not doing Katrina.
Yeah.
Which I think they filmed a bunch of it, didn't they?
I remember they cast a W, they had it going.
Yeah, I thought they casted stuff, but they never like got off the ground to do it. But the next one's called Impeachment, by the way. That's
Yeah,
gonna be the whole thing.
Yeah, it's Clive Owen.
Clive Owen's playing Clinton. Beanie Feldstein's playing Monica Lewinsky. It's gonna be
I want to watch that.
amazing. I cannot.
I mean,
She's gonna be so good.
OJ, like I don't love Ryan Murphy. Like it's a messy type of making a series, but there's enough there, like with the acting and the sort of like car crash factor of it.
Like honestly, Beanie Feldstein got me on board, but then Sarah Paulson's playing Linda Tripp, which I think is gonna be really, really good.
I agree. I can't wait for Beanie.
Yeah, I'm so excited for her.
It's not going to be subtle, but it's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
But also, do we want it subtle?
Yeah,
I would see a subtle version of that story as like a movie, maybe, but for a series, yeah, I guess you kind of need the like. This is a mess. Let's keep going.
By the way, what I'm reading right now about the Katrina thing, they had casted Sarah Paulson. She was supposed to play Dr. Anna Powell, but they said the season was scrapped, so it's not even indefinite. Like,
I feel like was Dennis Quaid going to be W? Does that sound right?
I don't know.
I remember. I thought they had cast one, and then
Well, Annette Bening was like the lead character technically of where it was ending up, and I think
and Impeachment comes out in September, by the way, so it won't be this year's Emmys. It won't be this year's Emmys.
Oh, good. That's just what we need. People thinking about Bill Clinton's affair during the election. Great, thank you.
I mean, listen, it's a really cool thing to do right now. Is just put the Clintons on every freaking documentary and have them just interview stuff.
I did like the Hillary documentary on Hulu though.
I'm halfway through and I really like it as well.
Yeah. Next up, Self-Made, inspired by the life of Madame C.J. Walker. I actually saw an episode of it already. Netflix with Octavia Spencer, and it's good.
Yeah, I am writing the review right now. I just binged it.
Did you finish it?
My first day in quarantine. I'm a big fan of it. I think that once this comes out, especially since I think one interesting thing about the Emmys this year that we can't discount is people who are catching up on shows because they're quarantined.
Yeah.
Like stuff opening right now, I think it's going to have a little bit of a leg up, but it's really fun. Octavia Spencer is so
my
good.
God. She's like, I mean, listen, I haven't finished the whole thing, but like, honestly, could be the best thing she's ever done.
Oh, I absolutely would say that. And Blair Underwood's really strong. Tiffany Haddish is a lot of fun as her daughter. And it's a really, really quick 4-episode miniseries. They're each 45 minutes. They go by so quickly. And it kind of reminded me of Hidden Figures in a way where it's a very narrowly focused story on, this woman that you probably don't know, but was the first ever self-made female millionaire. So Black woman with hair products, and it's great. So much fun.
Can we also just say, like, talk about Blair Underwood? When's he gonna get his due? Because like, I love Blair Underwood.
I think he could get supporting actor for it. He gets a lot to do like in the later episodes, but huge fan, and I'm pulling for self-made. If we're gonna have to deal with talking about American Horror Story 1984, I think people should be watching Self-Made to not just check boxes.
Sure. We got Black Mirror coming again.
Aren't those TV movies?
I thought they were.
This one's in limited because of it premieres June 5th. Nope.
That's after the deadline.
No. That was the old deadline. I don't remember when this one drops. I don't think they have a date for it, but I think this year there's something. I don't know.
It's last year's. So the one where Miley Cyrus is Ashley O. Is one of them. I can't remember the others.
Smithereens and Striking Vipers. That's the Anthony Mackie one.
Yeah. So they technically, and this is kind of why sometimes it's hard to do these before like they have the ballots released, but they have the choice to submit everything just as a limited series, I believe, or if they wanted to break it up and do like one is going to go as a TV movie.
I don't think Karen likes that answer at all.
Again, Emmy's full of loopholes.
Thank you for explaining that.
I was just saying that it's not a good answer because the rules are just too all over the place.
It would be really interesting to see how Black Mirror could compete in limited series against all these other shows versus like in the TV movie category where there's usually not a lot of competition.
Yeah. And this year doesn't really seem to have changed that too much.
Outside, going outside a category here for a minute. Have you guys been watching Dave on FX?
No.
It is so good. And I am shocked to the core it's on television.
Why is that?
Because it is not FX. It is HBO, like, late night. It is like, it's funny. It's really funny, but it's really inappropriate humor. And if anyone doesn't, like, if you guys ever heard of Lil Dicky, like the parody rapper, it's him. And he's playing essentially himself. And he's just, like, really neurotic. And it's funny. Like, it is, there's only been 3 episodes so far. But it is, I'm really, really enjoying it. Like, literally, the first 5 minutes of the first episode are so funny. And then like the first episode, I was like, oh, it's good. It's all right. But then the second episode, I really loved. And this last episode was the best one. It is really actively funny. I'm really interested by it. It fits much in the mold of FX comedies like Baskets, which is like funny, but like not or whatever. Like this is different also. I think Joey, I actually think you would like it.
The commercial pissed me off. The like, hi, I'm Dave. It was just so annoying, that song. But I'm curious.
Oh, that song is great. I just been saying it for weeks.
It was in my head, and it annoyed me that it was in my head. So maybe I just didn't watch it out of spite. Because I like a lot of FX stuff. I like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I like their sense of humor usually.
Yeah, like this is. I'm saying this is like a little graphic too. I'm just like, that's why I'm just shocked that it's on television. Like,
well, and it's the branding of this I find so weird, but isn't it FX on Hulu, which means that it's not actually ever airing on FX. It's only it's on Hulu, but FX produced. That's like the same thing where
It's Devs or whatever is that way too, right?
Yeah, and I think Breeders is as well, which I kind of liked well enough, but I watched up till episode 5 of the screeners I had, and by the end of that, I was like, oh, this actually is kind of a good show.
Which one?
That's the one with Martin Freeman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like hard to get into because it's very much like what you've seen before. Like, it's annoying being a parent, and I want to yell at these kids.
Yeah. Has anyone watched Devs?
I haven't heard.
No, but I want to.
I'm curious.
They sent me a huge package thing that I have behind me, in which it's like in this plastic like display case with 2 episodes or something inside of it and a book. It's too aggressive for me to open. All right, finishing up, Defending Jacob on Apple TV Plus with Chris Evans. Limited drama series is a gripping, character-driven thriller based on the 2012 New York Times best-selling novel of the same name by William Landy.
Fine, I'll subscribe to Apple TV.
Yeah, Michelle Dockery's in it, and Betty Gabriel. I think you might have to.
Yep.
Apple TV also has, they have one more. Oh, Truth Be Told, another Octavia Spencer and Aaron Paul that I think already happened, right?
Yeah, I watched that one. It started out interesting. It kind of loses its way a bit, but Octavia is really fun in it. Tracy Toms plays her sister. Aaron Paul is kind of lackluster, but it's essentially this true crime podcaster put this guy away for like a murder of his neighbor, and he went in San Quentin and became Aaron Paul. But I guess like 20 years later, became Aaron Paul. But yeah, so now the podcaster played by Octavia Spencer has seen new evidence that believes that she put him behind bars for the wrong reasons and that he actually didn't do the murders. So she tries to investigate it, but realizes that Aaron Paul has joined a white power group within the San Quentin jail. So do I help this person who is in a hate group? It starts out interesting and you're like, oh, that sounds like a juicy premise, and it kind of just becomes silly and a little boring. Lizzie Kaplan plays twins, one of which puts on an English accent. It kind of goes a bit off the rails.
Is it like a Parent Trap sort of thing?
It's like, yeah, it's not unlike that.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Interesting. But yeah, that's it for limited series. I think that's where we're gonna just close up the shop today. I think that's all we really need in our lives.
We
right?
talked a lot.
I think there's one last one that's coming out on Netflix. Damien Chazelle's The Eddie, I believe, is slated here May 8th.
Yeah.
So that could be interesting.
People like that a lot, right? The first 2 episodes I saw.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be into it.
You think 4 Weddings and a Funeral is going to do anything? Probably not.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Ooh, ouch.
Oh, poor thing.
This is the quickest we've ever dismissed anything in the history of this podcast.
No,
I think that's true.
I'm not saying poor thing to 4 Weddings and a Funeral. It's...
What about The Spy with Sacha Baron Cohen? You think they'll come back to that? No.
I don't know if they will, but it had a little bit of, was it Golden Globes or SAG that Sacha Baron Cohen got the surprise nomination for?
Globes.
It was SAG.
Golden Globes.
Yeah.
Always the Globes.
He won a
Always
Golden
the
Globe.
Globes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I thought it was, no, that makes sense. Let me see, but yeah. Also, winning at the Globes is just like the ultimate Emmy curse.
Yeah.
That's true.
As told by Andy Samberg and Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
And any woman who's been in a CW show.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, and then Showtime also has one. They have The Good Lord Bird. That's written by Ethan Hawke. And he's in it too, with Joshua Caleb Johnson and some other people. And I don't know when that's supposed to drop. It's told from the point of view of Onion, a fictional enslaved boy who is part of John Brown's, who's played by Ethan Hawke, motley crew of abolitionist soldiers during the time of Bleeding Kansas.
Okay. Could be interesting.
Yep. That's it. All right. Let's see. Did box office numbers come up? I'm actually just really curious.
Yes, it was the worst box office weekend in 20 years.
That's because nobody went to the movies.
Makes sense. Hang on, I have some things. It was the top 10 films this weekend slumped to only $50.4 million. That was the worst in a long time. The drops
22-year low. Wow.
Yeah. So here's the declines for the holdovers. 73% for Onward, 60% for The Invisible Man, 67 for Sonic, 70 for The Way Back, 67 for Call of the Wild. Like, everything dropped huge. Onward just was number one. The religious movie I Still Believe was 2, Bloodshot 3, The Hunt only made 5 and change. Came in at number 5. It was not great. Yeah. The top 10 was, it looked like an mid, I don't even know when you would see this number. Like, just like there was nothing. It the holdover.
Onward made 12.5 mil. Oh my God. Bad Boys for Life made 1.1. Can we also just, we have to end talking about this.
Uh-oh.
Like, how much of you feels bad for the New Mutants?
Oh, yeah.
Like
they were almost there.
Like, holy hell. That poor thing.
They need to just pull the Band-Aid and release it on Hulu.
Yeah, I feel like now with so many different streaming services, you could make headlines by putting this theatrical movie on one of your services, and it actually would be good. I mean, this is a terrible movie and terrible example, but there's no way more people would have seen the Cloverfield Paradox had it not just like instantly gone up to Netflix.
I think it's going to take one of the big movies doing it, whether it's Disney doing New Mutants or Mulan, even though I don't think they would do that.
Oh, they're not going to do that to Mulan.
But like, you need something on that level, or Warner Brothers doing something on their service, just like something bigger than normal.
Can I walk you through the timeline of the New Mutants real quick when I put it into context, and you're gonna see what this film is through?
I know this. I know this so well, and I love it. So have at it.
Optioned November of 2015. The second time it was optioned, it was optioned once in May of 2015. The second draft of the script was finished May 26, 2016. It went into pre-production November 2016. And then was still like in pre-production like May 31st, 2017. It started it was in filming at some point, like I don't know where at what point it was at. July 15th, 2017. Went into post-production the first time, September 19th, 2017. Then it started reshoots April 2nd, 2018. Was listed as in post-production the second time, August 13th, 2018.
I don't know that they ever got to the reshoots because of the sale. I think Josh Boone said reshoots. Josh Boone said the second wave never happened when they wanted them to add like a CGI character and all that. And take away like the horror aspect of it.
I know it definitely went through reshoots. Like that part had happened.
I think the like ones we heard that like, oh, they hate this cut and they need them to do X, Y, and Z. I don't think that ever happened. That's why it also sat forever. Because Disney, when it was Fox, one of them, but then they were going through a sale and they weren't going to spend the money, and then Disney wasn't going to spend the money, and it just sort of sat. And now we said they were too old to do the reshoots. So it's a mess.
Like I actively feel bad for them. Like it's just like
the shame is that it's probably like fine, and it's gonna either get shit on or overpraised. Like it's not gonna get a fair shake either way. It's either gonna get overpraised as like studio interference gem, or shit on as like a terrible movie. And the truth is gonna be somewhere in the middle, and like it's just never gonna have that day.
Listen, we're due for another Margaret in our lifetime, so might as well let it be New Mutants.
If it turns out to be Margaret, I will be thrilled.
Oh,
I love that movie.
Oh God!
Didn't it? It won like a best of the decade poll on somewhere. I forget where.
Did it?
Yeah, it didn't even make my top 10, but like it has quite the following.
Yeah. So Josh Boone, wherever you are, it's okay. One day.
It's not your fault.
One day we're gonna. Well, I mean, it could be his fault.
I mean,
but
not this
but
part,
I think it maybe was his fault, and then it started becoming like not his fault.
the amount of which it's his fault is probably pretty low at this point.
Yeah. Oh man. What are you the most bummed that got pushed back? Probably Mulan for me.
Yeah.
Quiet Place or Bond? Quiet Place.
F9.
No, I don't care about that. No, Quiet Place because I was going to see it on Monday. Bond because I was looking forward to it.
I will say I was
Mulan.
very excited for Quiet Place, especially after all the reaction. So I'm sad. I'm also sad that they don't have an official release date of when it's being pushed, and I feel
like August or October is my guess.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what else moves once those movies like find their traction.
I just feel really bad for the movie that not like Bloodshot because it's terrible, but like Never Really Sometimes Always came out this weekend, and it's a phenomenal movie. And I didn't even look at the like indie numbers, but I'm sure it made like $20,000. Like it's not. That's a movie that would have caught on and been like an early season. Like it probably wouldn't last. But that movie that then, does well at like the Spirit Awards, and you're like, oh, I wonder how close that came to like a something or other.
But yeah. I guess for a movie like that, which, I really enjoyed as well. I mean, enjoyed is a wrong word to say for that movie.
It's a fantastic movie.
But yeah, it's a fantastic movie. They should be working on getting some sort of streaming rights for it soon, especially while people are writing about it, especially while people are cooped up.
It would be interesting if like an Apple TV Plus or like a Netflix or something got it, grabbed it quick and like advertised like we've got a movie like that, and almost like had a campaign for it. It's like there's nothing else going on. Here's a movie that you would in another year or like at the end of the year be like, oh, it's too bad we never got around to that. It's too bad a group never honored that. Here's your chance. There's nothing else. You got no excuses. Watch it.
Yeah. So just end here with like letting everyone know. So as we said, South by Southwest was supposed to be happening. That got canceled. That's why Karen's
sort of. They've made some things available for us through a streaming library.
Yeah.
So we'll still be providing some South by Southwest coverage.
Are they screening through that method the bigger movies or just sort of select titles?
So guess whoever agreed to it.
Yeah. I wonder if Tribeca is doing the same thing.
They might.
Well, Tribeca is postponed right now, so they didn't say cancel. They actively, I think, used the word postponed because they may just do. Because I think there's still like a road for them to do it, like in May or June if they wanted to.
The summer is the spot. The summer is the spot if they want to do it.
Because June is especially with now LA Fest out of it, which had June on its own. It can move to June and recoup, everything. I think actually might be a good time for it too. I think they would get a lot of tourism.
Yeah,
people would do it. So it might not be bad.
They're also gonna, I think, wait to see what happens with Cannes. Like if Cannes can get going, which I think is a little bit of a long shot, but that would be the sign for other things.
Yeah, it's not so much, I think, a long shot to go on. I think I was talking about this with Karen. It's not a long shot for it to go on. I think it's just a long shot that they're going to call it so close to Cannes and people are not, like the journalists are not prepping to go. Yeah. So then it would be a last minute dash and you would have to buy a ticket like 2 weeks out and that would be like ridiculous price. CinemaCon is not happening anymore and they were slated for March 30th. WonderCon postponed. They were April 10th through the 12th. TCM canceled. They canceled, not postponed. They just canceled.
Yeah.
And then, we're waiting on Cannes. And right now, Comic-Con is still set to happen because
there's
July.
No way I wonder if that's, even if it is like close to being okay then, if they move it a little bit or change it, because doesn't everyone get a cold while they're there because they're just all in such close contact with each other?
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at what's happened in other countries with this virus, I think as long as people start being smart and not being stupid, we can have this knocked out by the beginning of May.
Well,
at least under control by the beginning of May.
Because China is they're declining already. They're coming off of their it's doable, but we have it's America.
I'll just say that.
Well, yeah. Well,
We don't
We're not
always
going to
react
shut down our
things.
country for 4 months. That's the thing.
Yeah.
We can't.
Yeah.
The world can't afford for us to do that.
But
So they're
Yeah.
going to have to take extreme
Yeah,
measures.
I think schools schools are closed here. Right now Jessica is out for 2 weeks, and right now they just named Sophia and Noah just for this week. My just gut suspicion is that I think March they're all out of school, and I think maybe a little bit of April, and I think maybe at that point we would have gotten our stuff together, and then we'll be a
The
little.
Department of Education is recommending that schools completely shut down for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know anything about New York schools yet. They're open as of the moment, but I suspect they will not be open.
I think that's all going to change tomorrow.
Yeah. By this time tomorrow, I think they'll be done.
Yeah.
Which they should.
Well,
They should at this point.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good idea. It's just, greedily as someone who works periodically in schools, I'm like, oh God, I don't have money anymore. Not that I ever did, but still.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the whole economy is going to feel the ramifications of all of this. It's going to be a trickle down effect that happens everywhere.
That's why I think one of the things in the aid bill that I believe passed the House, so I guess it'll get passed at some point soon,
They're voting it tomorrow as well.
is that I believe it's going to loosen some of the requirements for unemployment.
Yeah.
Because
if you're affected, you can apply for unemployment during
Exactly. Because think about it.
And there's supposed to be no waiting period, so it's like immediate benefits.
Yeah, so like anyone who works at a job where like you only get paid when you go in and they're not open, that in the past would be an iffy situation. But now I think they're gonna be pretty, cool's the wrong word, but they're gonna be. It's not in their best interest to like say no to people at the moment.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. I think it's the point that Karen made. Like, if we just kind of hunker down and take care of it now, it becomes more manageable than having to close for 4 months.
March and April will suck. We'll be back to normal in May if everyone does what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the somewhat optimistic view of it, but it's doable. It's just we're gonna know in the next couple of weeks like how people are handling like not doing things, and if it's not going well, then it's gonna be a bad sign for the next couple months.
Yeah, but if you want to build yourself up, watch Christian Bale listen to Lady in Red in American Psycho. Really build you back up.
I'm gonna watch the debate tonight with no audience and just see how weird that is.
Yeah.
I'm watching The Outsider.
Nice.
Is that what we're gonna watch? Good.
I'm gonna. Is John Oliver on tonight, or is that
No, I think they're dark as of today. I think everyone's dark.
Yeah, or their audience list at the very least.
Right.
I don't remember. I saw the list, but either way, doesn't matter.
Yeah. All right, Joey, where can they follow you?
At home, at Joey Magazine, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. I guess I'm going through all my screener links this week.
Karen, where can they follow you?
You can follow my slow descent into madness on Twitter and Instagram at Karen M. Peterson.
Karen and I are going to have to do like periodic check-ins when we do like planning out column just to make sure we're both sane still.
Yep.
When we start pitching very weird ideas to each other, we're going to know that we have to beg. How are you doing?
Yeah.
Chris.
You can follow me.
No comment.
You can follow me at CWJ92 Movie Man on Twitter, on Instagram, and already mad and loving it over here.
We're gonna know it's hitting Chris when like his virtual happy hour is every hour.
Absolutely. I'll start slurring on the podcast or something.
Yeah.
You'll go full Mark on Oscar night.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Before I give my where I follow, I just need to share this as in reaction to exactly what Karen Pearson just said. If everyone does what they're supposed to do, we'll be fine. That also goes for representatives in our government. As Devin Nunes just shared with the world, he says, quote, "If you're healthy, you and your family, it's a great time to go out and go to a local restaurant. Likely you can get in easy. Let's not hurt the working people in this country. Go to your local pub."
You know how we hope that no one gets corona? Can I amend that? a little bit.
Listen, I was saying
with
early on when people were going into quarantine, I was like, Corona's getting the big players out. Right? Like Ted Cruz was in quarantine, and Mark Meadows, and I was like, all right. Then Tom Hanks got hit, and I was like, whoa, did not tell you to go there.
There were so many jokes about Ted Cruz self-quarantine, like he finally listened to everyone he's ever met in his life.
Yeah,
but he was in quarantine.
I'm sharing that because exactly what Karen said, because that is exactly what Dr. Fauci, who has been a great, like, only smart thoughts coming out of like the task force lately.
He just waits for them.
He
to
said
say
exactly the opposite of all of that. He said, stay home. Yeah, you may be healthy, but you get something, you bring it to your grandmother, get her sick and all that stuff. So do not go out. It's like over here, there's a curfew in place where I am. Everything's closed from like 10 to, everything's closed from 10 to 5 bars, and everything is closed from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning. And people were bitching and moaning. They're like, oh my God, like, what the hell? And I was like,
but alcohol's a disinfectant.
I know that's true. Wait, hold on. Can I just point out? I did go to the liquor store and I bought a lot of liquor. I am going to be shit-faced for the next few days. Oh my God.
As did I. I mean, if quarantine doesn't have to be terrible, if you could afford yourself a few little luxuries in it,
I made myself an epic Malibu Bay Breeze the other day, and it was amazing.
I was saying to someone yesterday that whatever vice someone has, they're really indulging in the next week or two. And I feel like in about 9 months, there's going to be a lot more babies than we were expecting.
Yeah, everyone's going to have a baby in December. So get ready for that.
Self quarantine if you got a friend is not as I guess not as bad.
Yeah. Absolutely. But I guess to also like piggyback off of some of those points, be very, very nice to the surface people who do not have the opportunity to self-quarantine and who are quite literally keeping us afloat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Well said. Well said. All right. You can follow me at AwardsCircuit. Download Stitcher Radio. Go to iTunes. Go to Spotify. AwardsCircuit.com for your entertainment news. Hub.AwardsCircuit.com for your entertainment predictions. And go to the Circuit store to buy all your favorite merchandise. Also, don't forget 19.17% off all your purchases this week. I love saying it. It's so fun.
It's fun.
It's fun to say it. All right. And for AwardsCircuit, I'm Clayton with everyone. See you at the movies. Or not. No, I'll see you.
Bye. See you on the streaming platform.
See you on streaming.
See you at Chris's happy hour.
Yeah, virtual happy hour, everyone.
Bye.
Circuit Breaker is brought to you by AwardsCircuit.com. Just plug in.